Welcome to HFL 240, Maintenance and Operations 2. Welcome to the next level of M&O leadership. When I first put the competency for this course together almost 2 years ago, some of the competencies have changed since then and now. One of the big changes is
1 through
that
7
is going to be right from our Mechanical
to
Systems Handbook for Healthcare Facilities.
Management Systems.
And in this book, we obviously we're going to be talking about mechanical systems.
A couple
A
companies
little
have more
more
in-depth
knowledge
knowledge
there.
there.
Really came through
Energy
yet
management
to have
and
technologies
all
will be covered
as well as
for that.
controls,
So we're just going to
alternate
touch on it
energy
here. We
systems,
also do
and
touch on a balancing
courses,
and
so
M&O.
we're
Really not going to drive that core competency.
You know, this is going to be a nice
competency
section
in this
I
course.
think that
The other
while
competency
we're
we
not
have
drive too
pretty
deeply in
good
this
competency
course
for those
is,
for healthcare in the
is
general
reading and
side of this, where you're going to expand your scope and your awareness is going to be. We really did touch on that
side
and project
and
management,
really diving a little deeper,
and again,
a little broader
on managing.
There's just not enough time
stuff,
to
and actually even
deep
running
deep enough, if you will.
in this course
some
as well.
calculations. We are going to touch on
the last thing that we're going to
again,
not really
we
dive
are
too
going to touch
deeply
on
into as far as the core competencies,
very
and we're
specific
just going to barely
energy
touch on
savings
is low voltage
ideas.
systems
And I know that as we go
functions.
through this course,
So while
you're going
you know
to be
those three
thinking,
competencies
wow,
are going to be covered
do that, or we
great
could
depth,
do this,
what
or
we
we
are
haven't
going to
done
do
that,
is
or we did
have
do this,
several
and we have done that. It's
modules.
amazing
We're
as I
gonna
was looking through some of the
go,
lists that we're going
much
to touch
deeper
on,
in.
and we're going to place
So
into
many
these
of them I've
modules,
been involved in,
energy
and also
management,
many of them I was never able to get done. Energy management has become a core competency. Put together some budgeting, and you know, lots of times when we work in
2 years,
our jobs, I would say probably
so.
Maybe 3 or
that's
4.
something that we really need to
3
do.
out of 4
Plus, we
times,
also
or
have
4 out of 5 times.
some better documents,
All the energy and effort
books
that
that
I've been
developing,
we've been getting out of
requests for information
and other organizations that are starting to
never gets
compile
done.
what we do.
You end up
And
putting
putting
it
in
on the capital budget
format.
year.
Now, while these may not always work out as the
keep
best
sliding
textbooks,
back,
the information on them is,
but
hopefully
different
armed
scope
with better
and good
tools and better knowledge and better
quantification,
awareness,
and I can build on them.
that won't happen
take them a
with
little
us
deeper.
in the
So
future.
certainly we can't get
for all those
everything we want.
reasons, you know, we're going
But I think
to be
that
approaching
if we approach
this
things a little differently, we speak the language of our administrators,
a little
and
differently than the
CFOs, and we're
competencies.
aligned with the vision of the
We have
organization.
some big sections, and then we're going to have
you
a
know,
couple of
we can maybe
focus
get a
sections
lot more of our
through this
projects done.
semester. You'll
So
also
hopefully
know that
that's
this
what's
is a
going to happen
16-week,
throughout this section.
module.
You're going
versus
to
the typical
bring
15-week
things
module.
together, and you're
And
going to
even with
understand
that,
them a
I
little
probably
deeper,
really
and you're
could
going to
have
be
used
able
another
to get things done.
6 weeks
That's
to
really
get
it.
this
I think
material
there's huge
in
opportunity
the way I wanted to.
through these chapters.
So, and through
welcome
working
to
in
HFL
healthcare
240
to
to
just
just
reduce
reduce
the overall operating cost and efficiencies
the next
of our healthcare organizations. So pretty excited about this section. I think you're going to really enjoy it. I know that I did going through it, and you know, I think it's just going to be a great chapter, a great section for us to do. Now, weeks 8 through 11, a very brand new book just came out. In fact, I got it at ASHI conference. I was going to do something on generators anyway, and then this came out, and it was a document put together by a lot of industry experts and FEMA as it relates to generators and best practices and risk assessments and maintenance and operations. And the book that you have, and it's free, all you got to do is call FEMA and or get hold of FEMA and order it, is the Emergency Power Systems for Critical Facilities, a best practices approach to improving reliability. And inside of this book, it really has a pretty comprehensive overview of maintaining, risk assessing, and some great case studies when it comes to generators, which are going to teach us an awful lot about generators from a leadership perspective. So pretty exciting. I thought when I went there, I was like, that's perfect. And I ran to get, in fact, they wouldn't let you have but so many copies there. I think they had like 400 or 500 copies at the conference, and they were limiting how many you could get. So I managed to get my hands on 2 copies. But I was pretty excited about this, and I think while it comes at generators, maybe a little different approach. It's not going to be as technical, looking at the specific general components and how they're laid out and stuff like that. It's going to be more operational and leadership and assessment. I think it's going to be a great tool for this program because of what we do. Again, as leaders, we don't always have to know how things work specifically. We really know how to manage people and risk assess and really take information and create good decisions from that. So I think in some cases, sometimes it's a handicap to know too much and to get too involved in the details or go out into the weeds. And it's better to be able to trust your people to provide the information that you need. And this book really does. That's where it's really good. It's that nice middle sweet spot, and it's not too far in the details, and it's not too high level. So I'm really looking forward to this module for the course. Weeks 12 through 13, which actually was going to be a 4-week module, and I broke it down to 2 weeks because of time. Is fire barrier management. Again, this is one of those core competencies for years. You know, We've known we've needed to be very good at this, and as we've spoken about before, the Joint Commission and other accreditation agencies think that we're not very good at this, and that for some reason we continue to have lots of issues, particularly with state inspections. So we're going to need to go through this and make this a competency. I have plenty of material. In fact, it's going to be kind of hard to parse it down, but I think there really is some very, I think when we approach this from an academic perspective and we lay this down and we do our papers and research and quizzes and tests and everything we're going to do, you're going to walk out of the course with a pretty clear, comprehensive understanding of barrier management that takes some professionals many, many, many years to understand. I mean, one of the most basic things, and I say basic, but it appears it's not really basic, is the difference between a smoke partition and a smoke barrier. In some newer facilities, they don't have smoke partitions anymore. But in a lot of older facilities, they have plenty of smoke partitions. But, most of us often confuse the two, and I'll be candid, I was one of them. I mean, I really, not until later in my career did I really get a good handle on smoke partition versus smoke barrier. And when there is a big difference on how they're managed. And also, with newer codes and standards, there's ways to get away from these smoke partitions and get yourself down to, just smoke barriers, which can just help maintenance and operations in a big way. But it really starts by having good knowledge about what is what. And that's pretty much what we're going to do in this 2-week module. The next module is competency-based training, and I allocated 1 week to it. I think that, this is probably, it really is more of a dialogue, and maybe a little research. I just want you all to have just a very solid understanding on how to approach competency-based training, because I really feel that if we approach training the right way, a lot of other problems and issues would resolve themselves. So it's one of those things where I think it is one of the big issues. We don't train well. I think that training has been given a lot of lip service over the years, not just by facilities management, but by vendors who provide training. It's just not done well, and we need to change that, and that will truly take care of a lot of issues in our profession. Week 15, keys and control access. Again, another one of those little nuances where it just will really help you to have a better comprehensive understanding about the complexities of keys and control access. And while some of this may fall to security, many times it always falls to facilities because we're the ones making the keys. I know with control access systems it makes life a lot easier, but at the same time, control access is a really big word. Not control access is not control access is not control access, and that's what we're going to break down. We're just going to break down what are key systems, what are the various control access systems, and really have just a good comprehensive understanding, because this is a very serious issue in our organizations. And again, like other things, I think if people really knew truly our competency in this area, the surveyors or otherwise, we'd have some big problems, because key control and access control is lots of holes in those systems. And we're going to talk about those holes, and we're going to talk about how to try to set things up right and really have a better understanding of what is what. So that's, again, kind of a nuanced kind of week. We're going to be getting it in the semester, so it's not going to be too heavy because we're going to be hitting finals right after that. And speaking of which, that's the last week is finals. And I know at this point I've done a lot of non-traditional finals of writing papers. Again, my plan is to, as the courses evolve, that we'll have more test-type finals. I think that taking tests does prepare you down the road for your certifications, and I know that taking tests is probably one of the weak spots for our students overall. We do much better writing papers. We do very good at discussion boards. We can do excellent at summaries and things like that, but tests is an issue where I think we can continue to sharpen ourselves, and maybe this course will be the course where we will have a final that will be a combination of exam and questions. I can tell you right now, for those of you who are in this course and Capstone 2 will have a combination of finals and exam. And this is more of a Capstone 2 comment, but I just want you to know here in this course that I am working with Ashley and others to create a credential and a test that's not the CHFM, but it's more targeted towards students graduating from programs versus experienced workers in the industry. But it's going to be a test that's more head knowledge and stuff like that than it is going to be experiential knowledge, because that's going to be the case for many, many more people coming out of programs like this and engineering programs. And I think our students are going to be the first ones to be just passing, if not crushing, those tests and getting those credentials, whatever it's going to be called. So, so we're going to practice that in these courses. It'll just make us better overall, and certainly will make the program stand out as a stellar program for the industry. So finals week 16, and that's it for the semester. That's a wrap up of what we're going to be doing this semester. I really hope you enjoy it, and again, I'm really looking forward to working with you and helping us all grow as we go through this together. Welcome to Maintenance and Operations 2, HFL 240.